The Coat of Many Colors is about many things, but at the heart of it, it's about a young Dolly Parton who loses her heart because of a tragedy that happens in her family and then finds it again. Every character, in the movie, in the family, has their own kind of storyline that they go through, which is really nice. But when you add all those together, it becomes a wonderful family film. I play Lee Parton. He is a father of 8 beautiful kids that are full of energy and a lovely wife, Abby Lee. He's a tobacco farmer. He was uneducated. He never went to school, not one day in school, couldn't read. He just knew hard work. He knew how to provide for his family the best way he could. He was a man that didn't really have a strong faith at times in his life when he was younger, and it's something that he came to as he got older, as opposed to Abby Lee, who was a strong person of faith, and the kids were raised that way. But Dad would stay outside smoking cigarettes with the other guys and wouldn't go into church. So that was part of the appeal for me playing Lee. Was I got to take a man like him from a guy who had relatively little or no faith to a person that basically had to hit his knees and come to Jesus, so they say, because his family was falling apart and the tragedy that happened in the family. When they lost the baby, it was such a devastating thing for the whole family, and even Lee, the father. It was a big loss for him. He got angry at God, and he, just couldn't understand how God could do something like that. And so he had no interest in going to church, and it was a real struggle, at least in our film, between Abby Lee and Lee over this, because she is such a woman of faith, the mother, that it was something that they didn't share, that spiritual connection, and it's something that Abby Lee desperately wanted, and he couldn't give it to her, Lee. He just was incapable of it until some divine intervention happens. They have a teenage love. Because they fell in love when they were teenagers, then, their love just sort of never matured beyond that. And they would fight and make love and act like teenagers together. And so, I was talking to Dolly and Stella about her real parents. And this is something they told me. Both Dolly and Stella told me that the parents acted like teenagers when they were even older. They would fight like teenagers and, do everything like teenagers. And so it's a really special kind of love, that they have, that they share. And it's a true love. I mean, it was for sure a marriage meant to be. Yeah, sometimes, the guys, we're not always as smart as the ladies, but in this situation, like my character was pretty clever in the way that he helped orchestrate the healing in the family. Abby Lee just about killed her when she lost the baby, and she wouldn't get out of bed, and she was depressed, and Dolly, who was going to raise this little baby, because I thought it was awesome that every Parton older kid gets a little baby to raise in the family, because there's so many, Mom needed extra hands, and so Dolly's turn's coming up, and the baby's going to come, and then he's stillborn, and it breaks her heart, and she loses the will to sing, Dolly. And she just, is depressed. And so I've got these 2 depressed ladies in my house. And, Lee figures out that he's got to have them work together to help heal each other, which they ultimately do. But, a mother's love is so strong. So when I go to Abby Lee and I say, Abby Lee, Dolly doesn't sing no more. Your bird lost her voice. Your songbird don't sing. And you're the only one that can help her find her voice. When I say that to Abby Lee, that's what pulls her out of her, depression. The coat is something that helped Abby Lee get out of bed, because when she was grieving she started sewing this coat of all these various colorful rags, and it's something that she put her heart and soul into with every stitch. She was healing the broken hearts of her family.